Historic Boulder is excited to announce that it is embarking on a new project, one that we hope will enrich our community on many levels. Historic Boulder has accepted the donation of the historic Hannah Barker House, located at 800 Arapahoe Street, across the street from the Highland School, and intends to restore it and renovate the building.
This is a wonderful sketch that J.B. Sturdivant did in 1880 of the house. So this would have been just a few years after Ezra Barker purchased the property, and he and Hannah were married and moved into the house. So they moved in 1877. And the house, this portion of the house that you see here was built in 1875. This is a photograph from 1885 with actually Hannah in the doorway right there. And another person that we think is potentially Mary Davidson, who was a very long time friend of Hannah's and who lived with Hannah till the end of her life. And Willa will talk a little bit more about that when she talks about Hannah Barker. But by this time, so this was 1885, and by this time actually Ezra Barker had passed away, and Hannah and Mary Davidson lived in the house. This is a photograph from 1900, and by this time Hannah had actually embarked on a couple of renovations, additions to the house. So the original 1875 portion of the house was toward the rear, and she did a front addition, very much still in the Italianate style, but she added a front and side addition in about in the 1890s, and then in about 1900 or 1901 added the front wraparound porch.
For me in researching Hannah Barker was about how her life provided a lens into our history here in Boulder, and just to remind me of sort of the history of the broader history. So some benchmarks I'll just share with you, which I found interesting. So she was born in 1844. At that point, the U.S. was 26 states, and white settlers had yet to arrive in Boulder. The southern Arapaho were settled near Haystack Mountain. In 1867, when she moved to Colorado, the Civil War had just ended. Laura Ingalls Wilder was born that year, and Nebraska became the 37th state. The population of Boulder was 350. We were designated the county seat at that time. Of her death, so much had changed. The U.S. was involved in World War I. Boulder's population had grown to 11,000. Electricity, automobiles, and paved streets were part of our daily life. So she just, she had such a long and rich life, and I guess.
We'll move out, we'll get a